can see one just on row number 6. Doesn't look as though number 4, Hayden Kilworth, is out there, unfortunately. So no Hayden Kilworth, but I can see his older brother Jordan is there on bike 17. Green flag at the back, red lights are on, revs rise, out go the lights, and away we go towards Coppice for the first time on 5. And it's Dave Twyford who has Mitch DeCrant, who is inside, but Mitch looking for an inside line, going in towards Coppice. Oh, not close enough to make the challenge there. It's Dave Twyford, swoops around the outside and will take the reins on this race as he go around the left-hander of Coppice. On towards Charlie's now, the right-hander over the top and then down in towards Charlie's too. But Twyford was the man who was leading the way, and it is still there. Looks like one of the Harris brothers there in 3rd place behind Mitch DeCrant, trying to pick up the flashes of colour as they literally in my view for 1 second as they go down the back straight there, but certainly looked as though it's one of the Harrises. It could well be the 660 of Ronnie Harris, who is up in 3rd place now. Of course, Dell not here today, so Ronnie Harris inheriting that 3rd position essentially. But Mitch DeCrant then is in 2nd place. Dave Twyford, the man who took both wins yesterday, he leads the way as they go up towards Park Corner and onto Chris Curve. Looking at the TSL tracking page here then, and we can see that the number 1 is the man who is leading the way. We'll wait for them to show into sector number 2. Here they go through the right and the left of the chicane, and it is Twyford from Mitch DeCrant, from the 660 of Ronnie Harris, and then that is the 27 of Jack Bettis up next. So the top 4, bit of a breakaway. Ollie Sims, that is a good ride so far on this opening lap for the 73 of Ollie Sims. And again, likewise Archie Ormrod, Ollie comes from a supermoto background. So when it's a little bit difficult out there in terms of track conditions, Ollie really does come to the fore, and he's right there inside the top 5 at this stage. Watching them through then, doesn't look as though that there's any activity over the far end of the circuit. Everybody through into the 2nd sector. But here they come then, out of Barn and onto the front straight. The pit boards go out, and it is Dave Twyford who leads over Mitch DeCrant. And we know that Mitch would dearly love to beat Dave Twyford in a straight fight, and he's right there in prime position to do so. The gap was 0.137 of a second, but Ronnie Harris was the quickest man in the 2nd sector by 0.3 of a second. Biggest mover on that lap looks to be the number 93 machine of Tony Bosso. He's made up 9 positions. He was at the end of row number 8 and he's moved up all the way now into 15th position overall, 13th in class. Will Howarth, the first of the rookies, he is in 7th place with Rob Bryant, 9th overall. He is 2nd of the rookies as well. And Rob Bryant was going so well here just 12 months ago on, I believe, Andy Friend's borrowed SV650. So good stuff there for Rob Bryant. Good to see him back out here on the circuit. And he's there inside the top 10 ahead of Ben King, who rounds out the top 10. So Danny Brennan not out there on the grid or on the race there. It's Max Priestley and then the number 86 bike of Max Mitchell, and Dale Dowd's Hayden Kilworth, we know, weren't there on the grid either. Into the bottom of the mountain we go, and it's the number 1 who still leads, the yellow and the blue of Dave Twyford, Mitch DeCrant, Ronnie Harris and Jack Bettis, all there. And this is the good thing about the damp conditions, the wet conditions, in that it really does spring up a few surprises here and there. So 5th position last time around was Ollie Sims. It is still Ollie Sims, and it looks like Rob Bryant, number 606, he has made his way now in front of Will Howarth. So the leader of the rookie Minitwins, now the 606 of Rob Bryant. Looking up towards Barn, waiting for him to reappear, and here comes Dave Twyford then, still leading the way. Last time was by 0.137 of a second. This time around it's by 0.297. So that time looks as though Kev Lilly hasn't come through into sector number 2. And he's dropping down the timing screen there, unfortunately. So racing up towards Coppice and on towards Charlie's now, down the back straight in just a moment's time for our leading 2. But the fastest man on the circuit is the 27, the man in 4th place, Jack Bettis, with a 1 minute 52.666. It's a 52.8 for Twyford, a 52.8 for Harris, and a 52.9 for Mitch on that previous lap. Going across the line now, there is the 113 of Phil Rook. and yeah, Cadwell and number 39, in fact, of Booster. Is he just coming across the line now? No, so no Keaton Booster in this race at the team either. Looking towards the chicane, that is where they'll reapply view, and the sun seems to be starting to come out now. Certainly there is no more light showers, no more mist or rain at this stage, and the sun is starting to make its way through from behind the clouds, but Mitch Ducran is still right there, stalking Dave Twyford. We are on lap number 3 now, and we've got no working transponders for bike 77 or 195. So watching the number 77 of Josh Crisp and the 195 of Cook, that is Alex Cook, the man who started in 19th position. Twyford leads the way by just over a quarter of a second, looking up towards Barn, and the pit boards will be going out any moment now. There they go, and it is still Twyford from Mitch Ducran. Can Mitch find a way through in the following 2 laps? Ronnie Harris still right there with them, and it's said that Ronnie's a little bit down on power, but of course in these tricky conditions there, the power is not as essential as what it may be in fully dry conditions. So Twyford leads by still 0.2 of a second, but everybody inside the top 10 besides Dan Black have gone personal best on that lap. And that includes the new fastest lap of the race for Jack Bettis, a 1 minute 50.983. Purple in sector 1, green in sector 2, but Ronnie Harris was quickest of all in that second sector, going 2/10 quicker than Ronnie Harris. So the race leaders down the back straight, they're already through the dip and up towards Park Corner now, through the right-hander. Twyford still credited with the race lead at this stage. So 0.205 was the gap between Twyford and Ducran. Ronnie Harris, Jack Bettis on that lap, and he's the leader of the rookie Minitwins inside the top 5 overall. Down in towards Mansfield through the chicane and back into our sight, and Jack Bettis just losing touch a little bit on the exhaust pipe of the 660 of Ronnie Harris, but through the bottom of the mountain they go. And then over the top once again, number 1, Dave Twyford leads the 66 of Mitch Ducran. And they are through now into Hall Bend. Ronnie Harris is right there with them as well. Jack Bettis, he was half a second behind Ronnie Harris, but is now around about 0.8 or maybe 0.9 of a second as they went through the first sector. Out of sight again they go, unfortunately, but we'll pick them up when they get the drive down from Barn and across the start-finish line. So the last lap flag is now being shown. Just 2.2 miles to go, and Mr. Cran is right there with Dave Twyford. But is there an opportunity for him to put his black and pink machine in front of the yellow and the blue of the number 1 of Dave Twyford in the following 2 miles? We'll have to wait and see. Fastest lap of the race does go to Mitch Ducran on that previous lap, a 1 minute 50.112, and that is 0.015 quicker than the race leader of Dave Twyford. Change of position for Dan Black over Ollie Sims, that is for 6th and 7th overall, 5th and 6th in class. So Will Howarth, who's not getting to grip with the wet Cadwell bucket circuit, he's just dropped another 2 positions, but still 2nd in class, and that is good news for his championship. Down in towards the gooseneck now through the right and the left, and Ronnie Harris, and we'll pick up the sector times in just a moment, and then they will be bursting back into our view as they exit the chicane, but they're in towards that sector of the circuit now, and Dave Twyford's gone 0.6 of a second quicker than Mitch Ducran. But tell you what, that gap doesn't look to be 0.6. It's still pretty nose to tail as you go into the bottom of the mountain, and Jack Bettis is not too far away either. So over the top they go, Twyford and Ducran. Last time around was 0.1, but nobody knows better than Dave Twyford that it can be a little bit difficult to overtake in the woodland section. Mitch Ducran, Ronnie Harris and Jack Bettis is the top 4 in towards Hall Bends, and the hairpin they go. Don't think there's an opportunity here, and we'll get confirmation when they come out onto the start-finish straight. The checkered flag beckons, and it's a slipstream game, but it's going to be Dave Twyford once again with the 25 points. Mitch DeCrans so close at the end. 6/100ths of a second between Twyford and Ducran, and then Ronnie Harris up next. Jack Bettis, the quickest man on the race on that final lap with a 1 minute 49.877, and that is with 2 green sectors. Rob Bryan, 5th place overall and first of the rookie Minitwins on bike C06. Dan Black, Ollie Sims, Ben King, Jack Griffin and Toby Finnett inside the top 10. With Will Howard, 2nd of the rookie Minitwins in 11th place overall. Mango up next as Russell Taylor, number 12, gets through on Tony Botto on that final lap. Bill Harris dropped down to 15th overall and 13th in class